Welcome to What's in the Bag, where we give the voice to the voiceless and we let you say whatever is on your mind. My name is Marvina and I am your host. Mm-mm-mm, mm, mm-mm-mm, mm, mm-mm-mm, mm-mm-mm, mm. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to all you early birds that want to pay attention to me this morning. I'm shocked and I am delighted and I'm grateful. I am. Thank you for joining into another series of What's Early Morning Coffee with Marvita and my great loving JFF co-host Yvonne. I'm not introducing you yet. I'm just saying thank y'all for tuning in. I'm surely grateful to this morning. I'm full. I am so full. I am so full. I'm thankful. And I just want to give honor to God this morning before I even start this beautiful Saturday morning. And then wherever y'all at, y'all need to do the same thing. Just thank God for breath, to be able to breathe this morning, to just, I just have to give him glory. I'm grateful this morning. I am. I just have to do that first and foremost. But this morning we are drinking in our cup some donut brand. Some donut brand coffee from Kroger's again. We're back to the old donut brand again, and of course, I still love it with some hazelnut. It's good. Um, I don't think anybody understand this morning how full I am. I wish I could just give y'all where I'm at right this morning, what's in my bag. I'm just so full this morning. And I know my BFF, she can understand this a little bit more than anybody. Good morning, Mama.
Good morning.
BFF, good morning.
Morning.
Hello, good morning, everybody. Welcome this morning, my BFF,
Good
Yvonne.
morning. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. And welcome to What's in the Bag. My cup this morning is that Dunkin' Donuts is the last pod. I don't think I'll be buying it again.
Okay.
Just doesn't it don't taste like the store. I keep saying don't taste like the restaurant. But it's still good. But that's what I
Mm,
have with
give
some
or take.
hazelnut in here.
Nothing to
And
write home to mom about, huh?
No, it's not. I wouldn't even tell you. I wouldn't even say, "Here you go, BFF. Have some of this coffee," because you're gonna say,
Nah,
"Girl, that is not it."
you know, I wouldn't even, when you tell me it ain't right the first time, I ain't even gonna taste it. I don't even put it in my mouth. It's funny that we talk about that because you my BFF and I trust your decisions. And it's funny that we're that close to friendship that I trust you. Know if you don't like it, I'm gonna definitely not like it. Is that
Yeah,
crazy?
yeah.
I don't even give it a chance. I know my BFF said nope. You know what? It's just fun. This is exactly what this segment is about today. Friendship. It's about relationship, and the only reason why I put friendship is because it normally stirs from friendship. Every
Mhm.
relationship, it comes from
Mhm.
a friendship. So I put friendship, but this segment is not basically about friendship. It's about relationships, whether your sister, your cousin, your BFF, your mother, whomever your relationship is with that person. And we really want to talk about healthy relationships
Mhm.
with the
Mhm.
people that we call our friends or our sisters or our mothers or um um I just I love my BFF. And the reason I can say that today because I've been knowing this lady for over 17 years. It's been over 17 years.
Almost 20 years actually. Before Ron. Before Lil Ron.
Wow. I'm like
Yeah,
off.
it's been a long time.
I'm off. I mean,
Hmm.
yeah, hey, Nat. It's so ironic that, be honest with you, how time passed and I stopped counting. It ain't even about counting
Yeah,
anymore. We
yeah.
just live.
When we
I
when
ain't
when we met, Laylia was Leilani's size and age. I remember that little dress, the little flower dress with the white collar. That's
wow.
yeah.
You see, wow. And through that, through it, our friendship, oh my God, let me say, our friendship became because he had a gift and he was in real estate and I needed a place for myself and my children to live. And
Hmm.
at the time, my husband had just passed away. And I'll never forget
Hmm.
it. She and her husband, both, they opened their hearts up to me and helped me get my first home. Yeah.
Yeah.
You remember that?
Stonewall Tail Road.
We were friends because, and you always got to look at where your friendship starts, because sometimes you go into a friendship and where it starts and you grow out of it, you find yourself,
Hmm.
you and that person that you started out with, y'all wind up not being as close because at the time maybe you were young or you was in a need or that's what made y'all come together. But me and
Yeah.
my BFF,
We can
we
write a book.
we were, yes, ma'am. We've been
Oh my
through.
goodness.
I mean, I guess it made it so much easier for me, even through my trial of times, to have somebody there. It ain't have to
Mm.
be more than what everybody. She was my best friend, and why she was my best friend, I believe she was God sent. I asked for her. I remember asking for a friend. I remember when I moved here and I worked at Arby's and
Hmm.
I wanted a friend.
Yeah.
I didn't have any friends. I didn't have any friends outside of the relationship that I was in and I wanted a friend. And I remember the day I asked for a friend. And God gave me with not just a friend, a best friend. And with tremendous help, I just, I can't even explain the gratitude I have that, when she became my friend because she allowed, not only she opened the door for me, but she opened the door for my whole entire family. Our
That's
family became family,
yeah.
didn't we?
Yeah. Yeah. My mom, my dad. That's Marvina's another daughter, and we have truly been through the best of times and
Yeah.
some of the worst of time,
Yeah.
worst times in our lives together, and our families helped ease a lot of the things that we were dealing with and going through. From we've seen births together. Unfortunately, we've seen deaths together. We have seen we have seen our babies go from little people to adults living their lives, living their best lives, and with helpful words of wisdom from the both of us that got them to the point where they are in their lives. And one of the things that I love the most about our relationship that it has never been a thing of jealousy.
Nope.
It has always been a thing of respect.
Yes.
And one thing I can say about about this lady right here is having a friend from the north. I'm gonna tell you guys the difference. People from the north, and I had to get accustomed to this. People from the north say what they say and mean what they say. Unlike the south, now we are super friendly and all this other kind of stuff, and we will say this, that, and the third, and then as soon as you turn your back, we have a whole lot of things to say. People from the north, if they like you, they like you. If they love you, they love you. If they don't, they don't, and they don't perpetrate, and they don't even try to fake the funk. And I think that's one of the biggest
Next.
reasons that the two of us
Okay.
are the best of friends. It took some getting used to. She had to get used to me, and I had to get used to her. I was quote unquote, people misinterpreted me. I'm Miss Bougie. That's the way people came across, and it just hurt my feelings because I am the furthest thing from being bougie, and
That's what
Marvinez
made me
is
like you.
Marvinez.
I wanted you. I didn't know she. Let me say something. Opposite attracts. I just knew that it wasn't that she was bougie. She was different, as far as I'm concerned. My friends that I hung, my associates, my friends at that time, they seen her as bougie, but for some reason I didn't see the bougie. I seen this intelligent woman who wants something in life, and I wanted it too. Line me up, Lord, line me up,
Alignment, yes.
okay? Because what they saw, and it's okay because they took her business sense, because she's very business. I had to teach her to stop being so business and so business. Everything was business, business, business. And she couldn't compensate. She didn't have a great conversation if it didn't have
Mm-mm.
anything to do with business. And I'm like, it was weird because I'm like, this was her conversation piece. But see, for me, I pick up anything. I
Yeah.
will talk to you. I'll look at you and I'll see you got a purple pair of glasses on like mine, and I'll pick that up, and
Mhm.
then we'll
Mhm.
have a whole conversation. And I realized we were so opposite because I'll come inside of we used to go to doctor's office. I'll come in the doctor's office. By the time she came out of the office, if I went didn't go back there, the whole place would be
She had a whole
talking.
office.
I have everybody talking. We all in there laughing. I don't like to be bored. I don't like to be bored, and she
Everybody.
didn't get it. It was so, we had
She
to
didn't even think I
learn.
had a sense of humor.
No, I didn't.
That was it
Yeah,
was
yeah.
5 years into our relationship before she realized I had a sense of humor. And I remember where we were. We were driving down Roosevelt Highway, and I was saying something, and she stopped. She stopped in the middle of the street and just bust out laughing. And people were going around us and everything. And she looked at me and she said, "I didn't even know you had a sense of humor in you." And
I didn't
I was like,
know.
"Really? I thought I was one. I think I am one of the funniest people ever."
Y'all, like, wait a minute, you laugh? You
You you right, Nisi. That is your
right.
mom.
It
She
was it was it was weird to me because she never showed that side of her. It was always business, business, business. And I didn't
yeah.
know that our friendship, hey Ron, I never understood our friendship was based on the opposite becoming one together, and we was able to be on business adventures. We were a
Yeah.
we have done so we have had so
She said
many
"Bu- business adventures that she that she has embarrassed me all the times. Make she not necessarily embarrassed. She made me get out of that shyness and embrace that moment and show people what I'm working with. And she
yeah.
used to tell me all the time. She said, "You don't let." She said, "One, you don't put baby in a corner, and two, she said you don't let other people knock you off your square."
Right.
And we would go to seminars, and we own businesses, businesses, and we would go
Yes.
to places, and I would just be sitting there and wouldn't say anything. But
And they were
she went to
asking
the
questions. We knew the answers. I'm like, and my lip gets to trembling. I'm looking over. Answer the question. Involve yourself. Say something. I am
to
here. Let
till
me
she went
say
to the
something.
middle of the room and screamed it out.
Wait a minute. I got into the real estate stuff because I loved what she was doing. I wanted to know. I really wanted to get into it. I wanted to get into a business, and she was already establishing hers, and I wanted to get. So we got this service, my professional services, And we was into the real estate thing, getting down, boy. And I'm gonna tell you something. We made money. We were getting it. We
What?
going to these little seminars, drive hours to get there, and we sitting there like lumps on a log. And I'm looking like, why are we here? Come on now, answer the question. Finally, I had to get up and scream. What I say?
You said,
Um,
Yvonne, get up. You know this stuff. You know more than they do. I was like, oh my God. I was so upset. I got up and went to the car. I went to the car and I was gonna drive off and leave
she's gonna leave me. I don't care. I got tired of
her.
sitting around and not, invite. Yes, I don't know who this free girls with your city, but we need to get them off of that.
Right.
I'm getting ready to come down. All right, I need y'all to realize this. Segments aren't for all your little sexy things, so we're gonna have to kind of get you. Let me see. Yeah, folks do things. They just do things for take away from our fun. They just awful. They're
Oh
just
yeah.
awful. And you get on here and you talk about sex. We're not even talking about sex.
Mm-mm. Girl, we gonna move on, and they gonna maybe they gonna get enlightened by today.
Maybe they get some. I shouldn't have blocked you. I
Yeah.
should have kept you up here because you need some enlightenment. Friendship. Now
Now
don't
see,
let me get the preaching to you. I should have left you up here. I blocked them.
now
You
see,
know
that's
what?
how the
Yeah,
see how that goes. That's how that
yeah.
that's how that friendship.
Yeah, that's true. These folks out here, they just doing a little bit. They want some about free girls in the city. You want some free girls?
Mm-mm-mm.
And I need some free girls. It's a city, all right.
Girl,
But
I
and it's just let's get back to. I,
yeah.
I really did some research on relationships. I wanted to talk about relationships to everybody because it's important. That in our lives we have people here for us for a lifetime. We have people here for seasons. We have people here for a reason. I think it goes reason,
Yeah.
season, lifetime. And
Mhm.
I just want I'm very saddened that there's some people who thinks that the way they're being treated and the reasons people treat them the way they do is okay.
Mhm.
We I hear this back and forth about how I'm being treated and if my how toxic people relationships are and they want this and they want that and it's sad because they're not your friends. They're
That's right.
not. It's not a real relationship. It's not a. It's toxic, and people you accept the way other people treat you and talk to you and hurt you, and you
Mhm.
think that this is a relationship, when in actuality it's not. It's not a relationship. It's a relationship, but it's not a friendship.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love my BFF. I have my relationship with my children. I love my children. I love my mom. I love my sisters. I love my family member. I love people in my church. And I love hard and I strong, but I realize that there are people in my life for those three reasons. For a reason, for a season, and
Mhm.
some of it for a lifetime. And
Mhm.
let's figure out, and I want to say the difference on the reason. Like, say for instance, let me give you an example. You hang out in the bars all the time, and you decided that this is something that you don't want to do anymore. And so you start
That's right.
to
Yeah.
migrate, take your way. Oh, you stop going to the bars,
Mhm.
and those people was there for that reason. They
That's
you
right.
no longer really be with them anymore because
That
you
was
just
just your party
that was
friends.
your part, yeah, because that's what you hung out. You hung out there. That was
Mhm.
your reason. Then you got your seasonal person. I'm gonna say this: your seasonal person is those ones that no matter you go to them, you with them, you got them for a cause, and sometimes you talk to them, but you don't really always be around them.
Mhm.
It's just a season. It's not that you're going to be with them.
Every now and again. That's what I
Yeah,
call them. Every
yeah,
now and
yeah,
again.
yeah. But then
Mhm.
you got those lifetime people. You don't even have to really hang out with them all the time. But when you see them
Yeah.
people, you still know that they're your friends, and y'all
Yeah.
can pick up right where you started, and you become. It's like y'all never met each other. I mean, left each other your lifetime.
Mhm. Mhm.
Okay, so you know that there's these three people that's in your life. Now, you ain't got to be close to somebody and be around them all the time to have relationships with them. But you got to like the people that you
Yes.
have in your
Yeah.
circle.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's the means the way you treat
Yeah.
them,
Mhm.
the way you're being treated. Because I mean, if you're in a relationship and you complain about the way they treat you all the time, I don't know what kind of
You
relationship that
should.
is.
Yeah. You
That's
know, and I have to say, I have basically, just like what you said, seasonal friends and so. I have six women, six women that are my best friends, and one of those women is my BFF. And that circle, and she is also friends with those women too. That's another thing about having a really good friend or really good friends. You should be able to bring in your other friends. If they're your true friends, all of you guys are gonna mesh. You may not always see eye to eye, but you guys
right,
will mesh. And we do. We
right,
all get together and kick it. And it's been going on for years. And some of those women have been my friends for more than 30 years.
right,
Everybody else, and Marvina would tell you this. I said, mm-mm, she's not my friend. I said, she's an associate. And I keep associates in their respective places. And I only allow certain people, certain people in. I am funny about the people that I allow to cross my threshold. All those types of things. People that I have around my family, friends, my mom. I think about things. I think about things. Think about things like that. And Marvina happens to encompass something, a characteristic of each one of those friends, all rolled up into one. All rolled up into one. And I'm grateful to have her in my life because, like I said, I have I have best friends, but this BFF right here.
I go for the knockout. You know why? Because one thing I notice about our life, we feel comfortable. We both feel safe to come to each other and talk to each other. They got this
Yeah.
thing called. I looked this up. It's called frientimacy,
Intimacy. Mm-hmm.
a relationship where both people feel seen and seen in a safe and satisfying way. You got to
Yeah.
be seen. The one thing I realize when I speak to Yvonne, if I come to Yvonne and say, Yvonne, I'm full, I'm feeling some kind of way, she don't be like, you need to stop this or you need to do this. She'll say, you want to talk
Mm-hmm.
about it.
That's
She
right.
don't, it's not a throwing at you, trying to tell me what's wrong because you don't know what the issue. And see, I
That's
feel
right.
safe being able to come to her. That's
Yeah.
a friendship. That's a
Mm-hmm.
that's a if you can't go to your friend and talk to your business to your friend and without worrying about your business going to another
That's right.
person, that's not you're not
Never
it's not
heard.
a safe place. This is not a safe place.
Mm,
If you
mm-mm.
know that that person is talking about you and downing your name and you don't feel safe around them, but you call them friends, I don't get it. That is
Something
that a
is
real
wrong.
friend? Is it something wrong with them or is it something wrong with you?
Mm-hmm.
That you know that this is what's going on and you allowing them to do
Mm-hmm.
the things that they're doing to you.
Mm-hmm.
As
Cause what?
that's
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I
Mm.
just don't see, and I mean it's not helpful.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
Not helping.
Mm-mm. And the people, and and when you call someone friend, and I'm gonna use this as an example. Our friendship is so tight that I could talk to her children, which I consider to be my nieces and my nephews, and they know I'm just auntie. I'm just auntie. They can call me about anything, and I will talk to them about anything. They need got their back. The and what they tell me, I keep to me. But I do let them know this. The only way I would go and say something to your mom is if it is something that is harmful or dangerous to you. Other than that, because you need that outlet. And she has the same relationship with my children. I know that
Right.
she had a conversation with my daughter when she was 16. To this day, I do not know what
It
that
ain't your
conversation
business.
was about,
Ain't none of your business. It's
but I know
not.
that it I know
Right.
that it gave my daughter a different perspective, if you will.
That's right.
And not one time did I ever get angry and say, "Girl, you better tell me what was said." No, because I trust her. And even to the point, like one of my sisters had a new boyfriend, and all this. We didn't know anything about it, but this one did, and she never said a clue. And when I found out, I said, "Chick, I'm your BFF." You supposed to? She said, When she wants you to know, she was gonna tell you. She said, "I don't
Exactly.
do that." And
I
to
don't.
this day, there's so many things that she has never said, and that goes to who you can trust in your relationship, who you can trust, who you can trust with your children, who you can trust with your family, who you can trust with yourself, with your
On that note, I
yeah.
gotta ask a question. All y'all on here, how many ever y'all watching this? Think of a relationship you're in. Just think about this relationship, whether it's with your husband, your children, your best friends, whatever, however. From 1 to 10, how much do you? What number will you give them in trust factor? How much do you trust them? You ain't got to put it. If it'll be nice if you want to write it up here. I would love to see somebody put a 5, 10, 15, 20. Well, I ain't know 20, 10, 1 to 20, a 1 to 10 rather. How much do you trust the person that you call a friend?
Mhm.
I have many people let me say this. I don't have friends because I called my sister up that time. Sunday, I came home and I needed to talk. And there's only certain people that I talk to all the time. And when I called, they didn't answer. And I started feeling some kind of way because in my memory with my sister, I said, I don't have no friends. I don't. You know what? I said outside of if you're not my family members, I have nobody that I really confide in like I should. I just felt like I didn't have no friends at that time of what I felt that I needed to talk about. Not that I didn't have friends that talked to. I didn't have what
Mm.
I needed to talk about.
Mhm.
And I felt closed up because those
Mhm.
friends wasn't I felt wasn't available.
Mhm.
Why? Not because I felt like I depended on their approvals or any of those things, but sometimes listening to what I need to say and getting their feedback would be so important to me.
Mm.
So that's why I
Mm.
call. And I
Mm.
can, and maybe at that time, this is God saying to me, it's just me and you right now, because normally after it
Mhm.
happens, I wind up going into prayer or talking to God about it or turning on my music and He giving me revelations and probably shutting me down. And y'all don't answer. I ain't got to answer the phone, but I got somebody to answer.
Well, I made a public service. I make a public service announcement as soon as
Thank
the
you,
NFL
Penny
season
10.
kicks off. Soon as the NFL season kicks off, everybody knows not to call me.
That's why I said, see, I can't even be a BFF. It's always some attachment to it. You can only be my friend at this time. If the football game is on, you ain't my friend. You better know football come first. You better get it together. I'm a call.
She
I
knew
ain't,
she
I ain't no
called,
competition with
and I
no
said, "I'm watching the
football.
game," and she'll say, "Oh, I know."
I was sitting there listening to one of these podcasts and they was talking about the different type of relationships and how you can kind of determine if a person like you or dislike you. And I sat there and I listened to it and I wrote what they wrote because it was like, but I was looking at it opposite of what they said to look out for, and kind of comparing it to my relationships with my children, and with my best friend and my siblings, my outside friends. Yeah, you Ned, and my outside people that I literally talk to. And I had to kind of put this together because I wanted to give an example of a person who what to look for if a person secretly don't like you and you want to be in a relationship with them, and you find yourself doing stuff like
Mm,
um being part
mm-hmm,
what okay if like number one, they said number one, they curt you, they CURT, that's curt, right? Curt with you. They're
mm-hmm,
very, they saying that they short conversation you,
mm-hmm.
those people that kind of don't really want to talk to you. They, but
Kind of brushing you. They'll answer
brush
you or
you off.
respond, but they brush you off
Yeah, you're
and all
not
this
really
other kind of stuff.
important to them. They kind of, they
Mm-hmm,
hurt you. And then I was thinking about my BFF. I was thinking about my children. I was my moms. I was thinking about my relationships. I said, you know what? I don't. I know. And I put faces to this of people that hurt me.
mm-hmm.
I putting faces to it, and I'm like, wow. Um,
That's a good one because as you were saying, several people flashed like bam, bam.
I know a
I
lot
said
of people.
okay, that's all right.
I was
I
thinking
got you.
of my church family and my outside, family. I was thinking about, my inside family. Who, do you have these type of people that hurt you?
Mm-hmm.
Is that healthy? Is you Are you important to them? And then they said number three, lack of trust. I mean, I'm sorry, lack of number two, their body language. I'm sorry, their body language.
Ooh.
You ever have those people that don't do eye contact, or when you come around, they kind of standoffish, like really don't want to be. And then when I
Mm-hmm.
was listening, thinking about that, I said, yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I said,
Deep.
wow,
That's a good. That's
yeah,
another good
think
one.
about that. Just I had to take a second and think about that because I know people too
Yeah.
that does.
I say it a lot. We had this conversation a few weeks ago. I said, you know what? I said I'm sick and tired, and whatever. And he said, well, did they ever say? I said, it's not what they're saying. It's what they're not saying and how they're acting and behaving, their body
Yeah,
language. I was like,
yes.
okay,
And they
all
got
right,
them, even those virtual ones that's on, they got body language too. You might not see
yeah,
it, but you feel it when you're doing virtual work and you thinking these people got your
uh
back
huh,
there, and then you really find out they give you the body language. Just you can feel it in the way they do things, the way they act towards you online. So just think about that. You believe like, wow, you know what? Yeah. And then I said number three, lack of trust. People that tendency to they don't trust you. They how did I write it? Their intent is to make you feel like no matter what you do and what you got going on is not, even if it's good intent.
mm,
They don't value anything that you
mm-hmm,
have going on. It's not, they don't trust you. You could be going out your way to try to make them trust you, like, oh my God, we got to be on this team together, so let's do this. But then you find out that just because you're on the same team don't mean that you are actually on the same team.
team. You better say that. You better say that truth. All right, BFF. You better say
It's the
that.
truth. It's
You
the
better
truth.
say that.
Yeah. We on the team, but we're not on the same team. You wanna, and you I find that this to be real truthful right now in my life, and I have to let it go. I have to let them go. I have to let it go. Everybody's not your friend.
That's right.
Everybody's not here to like you. And that's good too. Everybody like you, then you be wondering what's wrong with you, believe it or
My,
not.
my my tree had my friend tree has gotten very light over the years. It's like that tree in your yard where the leaves are falling off and they don't always grow back. And I used to try to grow them back. I would fertilize. I would do all it. And when I mean fertilize, I was calling all the time. I would pop up. Let me, let's go, let's do this, let's do that. And I was always the one initiating and making things happen. And then I realized through this friendship, I don't have to do that. I'm just as important as that person. I'm just as important. Every when it comes to importance, everybody's on the same level playing field.
Right.
I'm not better than them and they're not better than me, but I should not always be the person that is the initiator. If I'm the person that's constantly initiating contact, conversation, um if you have an event and I'm the one that's always coming, but when I have an event you can't come, you don't know what my address is, never been to my home and things of that nature, that's a problem. So I couldn't check them, I had to check myself.
Exactly.
I had to check myself.
And how about easily frustrated with you? How about the ones that you can't never do anything right? It's even when you're trying to do it right, you're trying your best to make. It's like you can't. You just and they make you make everything hard on you. You can't, it's like nothing you do
It's
is
good
good enough.
enough. Hmm. Yep.
No, unhealthy, toxic. That's that relate.
Hmm.
And how about the inadequate? They make you feel inadequate. They make you feel like they degrade you.
Hmm. Hmm.
Maybe not always verbally, but behind your back.
Yeah.
Um, Even the ones that make that has to be around you, they have forced smiles. They force smiles you. They even said they do things by trying to keep their distance, but yet they have to deal with you.
Yeah. Yeah.
You get what I'm
Yes.
saying? They got to deal
Hmm.
with you because you are a part of, but they're
Hmm.
not going to get close. They display
their
separation.
their disdain is written all over their face. And
They don't really yeah, they
right.
run they try to keep a distance. They make you look like you're the small ones, or they try to up you. How about the ones that try to up you?
Ooh, Jesus.
You
Up me,
doing
honey, I don't care.
you're doing what you're sent to do, but for some reason you're always in their view that they try to up you or want to
Hmm.
do better than you, thinking that you're trying. I don't know, but
I call it
like
keeping up with the Joneses 2.0. Because if you go
that,
out there
that's
and you
yeah, yeah.
if you go out there and you say, okay, girl, I just got me a new Toyota. Okay, honey, well, I got the Toyota electric, and I did this, honey. I'm like, okay, it's not
Or
even about, it's
I
not a,
got something, or competition, or I got this girl. Guess what? I went in here and I bought this beautiful pot set. It got all the pieces to it, right? I love this pot set. I went and bought this pot set. Then you look at it, oh, this nice, man. I gotta have one of them. You go off and you buy it too. And then you look in their cabinet, they got 50 million pots that don't even really cook. Just because
just because you did.
you got it. They try, or you see something that you want. This is another one, and you know you need it. Oh, I need this. I need this. This is what I need. And then that person see that you need that, and that person turns around and buy it for themselves, knowing you needed
Hmm.
it. But
Hmm.
just because you needed it, you got those. You got those friendships. You got those family.
Yeah.
You got
Yeah.
those what you call one.
Yes.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
got them.
The one
The
uppers.
one that ups you, try to up you.
Yeah.
It ain't
Yeah.
about up.
And
It's
you know,
not
and I have a
competition.
and how many of you guys understand healthy boundaries? You had your friends and have boundaries, but you get upset. You get upset. You know, and what I mean by that, I'm gonna use this as an example. There have been times when Marvina and I, we haven't spoken to each other. I remember one time we didn't speak for almost 2 years, not the way that we are accustomed to speaking. And I couldn't figure out what was going on. And I'm gonna show you how God in in great relationships, the best relationships that God has ordained, He teaches you lessons along the way.
Yes.
'Cause I used to be this type of person. I wanted what I wanted when I wanted and how I wanted it. So that means if I called you, I wanted that conversation. If I did this, I did that. That I just want. I'm the type of person. If I say take trash out, I want trash to go right now, not 10 minutes or 15, 20 minutes later. So I was an instant coffee person at times sometimes, and I had to learn. And I remember I would call sometimes, and she would say, "Hey girl, I'm gonna call you back." And I'd be like, okay, so week could go by, a couple of weeks, sometimes a month. And I'm like, dang, what in the world? And then every now and again I would get a phone call and she would say, hey, I didn't need it, didn't want anything, just wanted to hear your voice. And I was like, okay. And I remember getting upset one day. And my grandmother, I was talking to my grandmother, and my grandmother said, it's not about you right now. She said, that's your best friend. She said, whatever she's dealing with, you've got to give her space to deal with it. She said, when she gets ready, she is going. She said, trust me. And she said, and my grandmother, I'll never forget, she did like this. She said, you just got to decide on this. And I said, huh? Decide on what? She said, which shoulder? She said, being a good friend, a best friend, does not always mean that you got to be up in that person's face and they got to tell you what's on their mind or in their heart in that moment. She said, you willing when they need that space, that space. She said, because I promise you, it don't have nothing to do with you. It's something that she's going through, something that she's dealing with, and you have to respect that. And then fast forward, that became a good lesson for me. And then I remember I started going through some things, and I would show up at her job. She'd be back there just working, just working, and I pop my head in. She'd look at me and she'll smile and she'll do like this. By the time she come, I'm gone. I was going through some things, and all I needed to do was just see her, and I knew that it was going to be all right. I knew that God had me, and we have that understanding with each other. Sometimes we don't have to say anything at all. It is just being there and respecting those boundaries, those healthy boundaries,
Have
boundaries.
to.
And and with good friendship, you have to have that in there.
Have to. Have to. And we got to accept each other for who we got. First of all, we got to let people be where they're at. You can't
Hmm.
change. I'm just being honest. Just because you don't like something in somebody does not mean that that's wrong or right. You just got to accept them for who they are.
And you
I'm
never
not,
know; it may help them to grow.
or maybe help you to grow.
Yeah, yeah. Cause I have grown. I'm a
You know what I'm saying? I'm
like
being
woo.
truthful. It's
Yeah.
relationships doesn't require you to try to change somebody. You got to work at it. And the thing is, you got to know what you're
Yeah.
working for.
Yeah.
You got to know if you're working to get that friendship, you got to know what you're working for. What are you
Yeah.
working for? A lot of us don't know. We just think that we are friends, and because we're friends or sisters or brothers or cousins or whatever, we're entitled. Entitlement comes in. But in the
Mm.
meantime, between time, while you
Woo.
thinking you're entitled, you realize that this person cannot keep you in their thought process 100 and all day long. You got to realize people got to be people, and you got to realize also that you got to treat people the way you want to be treated. You
Mm-hmm.
can't be one sided. Also, when you got into the relationship, if it was a good way you got in the relationship, you got to treat that person the way y'all got into this
Yeah.
relationship. Don't forget. If you opened up the doors for them to get in, you, then you got to go back, open up the doors for them. It's about understanding that people want to feel comfortable in the relationship, and you have to accept people for where they at.
Exactly. Exactly. And you got to keep it 100. You got to keep it 100.
Hey, yes.
Some friends of mine that, gosh, we've been friends probably about 20 years. Her, this lady and her friend, they fell out, and she said he doesn't listen to me anymore. Whatever, whatever. And knowing her, I said, Um, I said, you don't. I said, when he comes to you and he tells you some things about yourself, how do you receive it? Can't nobody tell me whatever, whatever. And I told her, I said, that's part of it, and this is based on what she was telling me. I said, that's part of the problem. I said, I'm gonna tell you something that I've learned. BFFs, you have to be willing to take that constructive criticism when needed and be able to give that constructive criticism
Yes,
when needed. You can't if that's my that, with her being my BFF, I can't be afraid to take and put it in her butt sometimes when she needed.
that's
And
right.
she certainly is not afraid to put her foot in my
Right,
behind when needed.
right.
I remember one time, and this hurt me to this day. I still check myself before I say things sometimes. Somebody had pissed me off so bad and I
This
went
is in her
in.
bag,
Oh my
y'all.
god. I went in so bad and she got so quiet. And she said to me, she said, "Yvonne," I said, "Yes." She said, "I don't know you right now." She said, I am appalled." I said, "Huh?" She said, "I've never heard you talk like that before." You said, "I don't care for this person, but that person did not deserve for you to go in that way in that manner." She said, "You allowed that person to knock you off your square and put you into a place of someone I don't even recognize. You owe that person an apology." I was like, "Hey." And when I thought about it, I was like, golly, I did. And
Yeah,
that was growth. That was growth for me. That was growth. There have been times when I had to say, "Hey, hey, hey,
yeah.
V, now
I mean,
you
many
dead
times.
wrong."
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, I went to IHOP and was mad because it was cold in there, and I don't like to be cold. I don't like going nowhere to be nobody cold nothing. You ain't. I'm sorry. I don't like to be cold. So I'm in there cold, and then the young lady came in. She was saying they was complaining, but I wasn't listening to her. All I was worrying about was my needs. I know I was freezing, and my food was gonna be cold, and I did. I came off strong on this young lady, and she was a young lady. She's just in college, just first year, and Yvonne looked at me and said, "You owe her an apology." I said, "Oh, what? No, I don't." Yeah, and I'm thinking like, but then I had to check myself. You know what I'm saying? It was not even about my needs at that time. It was about the way I treated this young lady, and that was wrong. And she had to check me. She told me this. You did. You wasn't even listening to her. She was complaining also that it was cold. But you said something, and I had to realize, yeah, I was a little hard because I was thinking about myself. I should have did a review on it, and then I would have really got it off. But yeah, so my thing, so my thing is, you need someone in your corner. You need, God
Hmm.
even said in the Bible that we shouldn't be
Checks and
alone.
balances.
Checks and balances.
Yeah.
They got something in the Bible when they saying about friendship. And I love this because it's the truth. I mean, let me read this. Let me find it. I'm gonna find it right quick, Yvonne. I got to say this. Wait a minute. Was it Ecclesiastes? I think it says two are better than one. Because they have a good rewards. Greater love has no one. I don't forgot where it was. It's a whole lot of them about friendship. I'm sorry. It was one on friendship that I said I was going to highlight. And but see, when you don't be obedient, obedience is better than sacrifice. My uncle always say that. Then you can't find it. You should have went on and highlighted like the Lord told you to do. That's sad. Okay. Yes, you do. You got to grab your laptop.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Give me a second.
My BFF is getting ready to come off. She has to go get her laptop, and I want to answer some questions while she's here. I seen a few things, a few of them that Miss. Let me see what Miss Gloria said. Miss Gloria, I had a friend late in life. He's gone now, but we didn't talk every day. But she come to realize that she could talk to me about different things. I talk to you because you understand. Miss Gloria, a lot of people don't understand us and what we can do until they get to know us. I realize that now in my walk. People don't know me. They see me on TikTok, or they'll see me going through church, or they'll see me, working or whatever, they see that outside mask, because we put on masks. I believe this is my thought process. We put on masks everywhere we go. We go to church, we put one on. When we come home, we put one on. When we dealing with our kids, we put one on. People don't know you until they get to know you. They see you as being a friend. They don't. A lot of times they don't even want to get to know you. And a lot of times they want to get to know you when it gets a little late in life. I had that happens to me. Now I have someone special to me that as I got young, as I was young, they didn't really get to know me. They didn't know me, and as I got older, they got to know me a lot better. But now that it's getting older, now they want a relationship. And I'm gonna say this: there's a time for everything. Like you said, there's seasonal people, there's lifetime people, and there's people there for a reason. Hello, Miss Vicky. So yes, ma'am, I like how you said that, and I'm glad y'all she got to get to know you. I hope she get to know you before she left here, and got her wings. It says there are sometimes people also today they are smiling with you and tomorrow they smug you off. You can tell when they are talking about you. Yes,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
yes.
And you know what you do? You walk right on.
Me too. I'm good for that.
Let them
I
see
like
your back a
showing.
lot.
Me too. You
Yes,
know
I would
what?
do
It
that.
don't matter to me if you shun me. I only give you a certain amount of room anyway to be in my life. Once that first shrug you do, I'm on my guard after that. At first one you do, I kind of look at it like, okay, maybe it's me. And then if I notice you doing that again, I'm like, okay, no, it's you. Shame on me if I really allow you to get in. I literally have to go some places and bring God with me inside of the place that I'm at, because I know that these people don't like me, and they believe that I
Mm-hmm.
think that they like me, and I know it by their actions. They don't even really hide it. It's just a matter of wanting me to feel uncomfortable in my skin. Not that I don't know if I intimidate them, or if they see something in me that they want, or even they might see something in me that they have in themselves that they don't like about themselves, but something in them that they do. But it's not my problem, it's a them problem.
It's a them. Yes,
It's a
yes.
them problem. There's a guy
Yeah,
on TikTok. It's a them problem.
it's
It's
a
a
them
them problem.
problem. It's a them
Yeah, it's
problem.
not my problem. I can't please everybody. I would like to be friends, but if you don't want to be my friend and you want to show me, that's on you.
Mm-hmm.
That's your thing. Your loss. Because believe it or not, I'm a good person. I won't do nothing to hurt you. I bet you that much. But I noticed that you'll do something to hurt me, so I don't want to be your friend anyway. Sometimes when you think that you doing like sometimes you'll come out the box and try to be friends with this person and gotta block it.
Oh yeah.
I've seen that
Mm-hmm.
happen to me a lot. He blocks
Mm-hmm.
it because they're really not your friend. They're not really there
Yeah.
for you. They're just what they want from you. There's something they want from you.
Exactly. Exactly. And I was getting ready to say, be leery of the people that's always a gimme, 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 gimme. You want to give and take. You want a healthy balance. You got to
Or
be
ones
careful
that
about
tell you
them.
they love you and they show your actions is different. I can't stand that. I had somebody tell me in the church while I was on my knees that they love me, and I know by their action that they don't. And it's
I did.
not that I feel that they said it because they wanted to say it for loyal reasons. They said it because I was doing something for them and
Mm,
they didn't have to do it. So now I love you for that. So maybe that's what you love me for. I'm okay
yeah.
with that because see, I'm not there in the church to serve you. I'm there to serve God. You don't see my heart, but God sees everything I do.
You know what Daddy used to say. What, you love me, and then you at the same time you turn around and give me your what, the kiss.
You don't even have no real friendship with you.
Yeah.
You don't have no real relationship. You just there, and I'm okay, cause
Mhm.
I'm not here to be everybody's friend, and I'm okay with that. And especially if you have a upper class title, and I know that I'm right here to you in your eyes. So when I'm up here and you right here, you better watch yourself. I'm saying scale wise. Y'all see me?
Mhm. Jesus.
I'm serious. God is good.
Yes, ma'am.
Mercy
Yes,
is
ma'am.
everlasting. And lean not to thine own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him. And I'm acknowledging him right now that the things that we're talking about, it might not hit everybody, but I know there's some people on here who really needs to hear this. You know, stop allowing people to make you feel like you need their friendship,
Mm.
being codependent, um, being ready, available for them, trying to put a square peg in a round hole. You know it. Your instance tells you, God tells you, your spirit tells you, you ain't stupid. You just want something. Maybe it's the challenge that really keeps you coming back, or maybe you feel sympathy for that person, and that person is their your way of keeping that well, my sister called it that people pleasing attitude. I don't know, I'm gonna say, yeah, I see you writing, girl. Let me see what she said. Good morning, auntie. This is okay. Let me clean this up. Hold on, baby. My auntie gonna get it out there. Here is it. Okay, here we go, right here. Good morning, Auntie. This is your niece Amira. I definitely had to learn healthy boundaries. I lost people that I thought I couldn't live without, and made amends with my lifetime.
Yes.
Say something. Those friends, those you
Yes.
always gotta look at when you met these people, like your friend, who you call friends or associates. If you met them at the time that you needed them and you were down and out, and you grew out of that and you wanted something better and you wanted
That was
something
that season.
different, that was that seasonal person. And it's
Yes.
okay. You shouldn't feel embarrassed that God elevates you, or maybe elevated them. I don't know what's the reason, but y'all can be elevated in separate ways. So
Mhm.
it's not a problem that you ain't with that person, and they fell off the wayside. But when you make amends with the people that you know that's there for your lifetime, especially the ones that even though you might have a falling out with, but still y'all come together and eventually y'all here for that lifetime. It's nothing to be sorry about. It's We all have conflict of interest. Sometimes it takes us longer times than others to mend it and get it back together, or not put it back together, take out the disconnect, because it's
Mm.
a disconnect there somewhere.
Mhm.
And until we get some of that electric tape, that electric tape, not duct tape. You talking about that electric strong tape. You gotta find a little something, put it in there and mend
So
it
it can
together.
withstand those currents.
Withstand it, because if you don't, you're gonna have some more shocking things, and it's not gonna work.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. I love what you said, Auntie Baby, and I hope that made you, that helped with you
Yeah.
what you said there. Let me see anybody else. Let's see somebody else. The song that says the meaning thing. Say that again. The song that says the mean things that you say don't make me feel bad, because I don't miss a friend that I never.
Mm. Mm.
Yeah, they're
That's
not
deep.
friends.
Yeah.
That's associates. They're people
Yeah.
that you have a momentary relationships with. You could call them what you want to call them, but a person is a friend. And I think I put it up there the first time. You got to be comfortable with that person. You got to
Mhm.
feel safe with that person. You got to be able to be yourself with that person. If you don't, I mean, I don't really see that as a friend. I could be just a relationship, for maybe a reason, a season, or a lifetime. If that's what you want a lifetime person that hurts you or be there, that's on you too. I mean, I'm not telling you it's wrong. I just don't want to be with nobody like that. I don't want to be with people that disrespect me and make me feel some kind of way about myself or whatever the case may be. Mm-mm. That's not
Hmm.
it. I got some good friends though. I got some good sister cousins. I have some good sisters. I have some good. I got definitely got good relationships with a lot of my family members, immediate, my children. I love my kids. We have great relationship, each and every one of us. We have a
Yeah, yeah.
great relationship, and
Yeah, I love your relationship with your baby. You know, I say it all the time. I do. So for my nieces and nephews that may be listening in, I talk to your mom. Oh, I said, girl. I said I love you. I love your relationship with you and your babies.
I want them to
I
trust me.
love that. Oh my
I want them
goodness.
to trust me. You know, they tell me things. I'm not going back and playing one against and telling each other, telling somebody, let me tell you. Don't make no sense to me. I love my children enough for them to trust me. So
Mhm.
I put that in them as a kid. Don't lie to me. You lie to
Mhm.
me, I ain't gonna trust you. I want to trust you, even in school, whatever. Now, if you did something you ain't supposed to, I'm gonna back you up.
That what?
And you gonna be having me out here acting a fool.
I don't think y'all understand.
Yeah, they
we
do.
I'll tell you something. We have over the years we have received some
I
phone
love you
calls
too.
from our babies that has had us up at 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning. Like, okay, we on our way.
We on our way.
This getting ready to happen. Cause we because we love hard and we love strong
Yes,
and we love
yes.
our babies unconditionally.
And I see my relationship with
Yeah.
my children as good. I have to see myself in this. I got to see myself being a good best friend. I got to see myself being a good mother. I got to see myself being a good daughter. See myself being a good cousin. Not to change them, to accept them
Mm.
and become a great person of acceptance. Not that I'm going to let them beat me down. I don't know none of that because they know I will say something.
Yeah.
I'm not mixed for words. I will let you know that, this is bothering me. You need to get it together. I mean, right now, or we just not gonna be talking right now because I ain't got time for the messy stuff. See, I'm not
Whew.
a messy person.
You guys
So
ever get that phone call from Marvina saying, I was can I ask you a question? You better know.
I need to ask you a question. Can I ask? Because when I ask you the question, whatever the answer comes, we got to be prepared. I mean,
You gotta be
we got to
prepared.
be prepared. Let's get prepared that the question is going to have something to
Yeah.
do with.
Is
And if
can
it,
I
and
ask you a
if
question?
you,
Starts off a huge conversation.
yeah, and if you give me the perfect opportunity, I'm going to say it. I'm a perfect opportunity person. I might not say nothing to you right then and there, but when the God opened the door for me to come in, I'm coming. I'm a
Yeah.
perfect opportunity. I'm going to
Yeah.
let you
I
know.
said all the time.
This is what
God
you
always
made.
perfect opportune time
You
always
always
presents
say that.
itself.
And that
Yeah.
was my thing. I caught on to that. Or don't no, choose your battles or you're gonna lose the war.
That's right.
And
You
I
allow
do
other
choose
people to choose your
you exactly,
battleground,
exactly.
you're
And
gonna
I'm
lose the
slow
war.
to speak. I am a slow, even though I might seem like I'm an outgoing person, I pay attention and I pay attention. I pay
I'm gonna tell you,
attention.
when Pastor Garmer said that, Pastor Garmer once said that you have to be um slow to speak and quick to think. I instantly thought about Marvina. I instantly thought about it. Cause I'm gonna tell you something. If she come out the pocket real quick, all right, it's gonna blow over. But
I
if
have
she is slow to respond, baby, look at here. You gonna get that phone call. You gonna get that phone
God
call, or she
knows,
gonna show up at your door.
God
She
knows. And I mean, you don't
love
put
you
no
for
bullet
that.
in my gun and think that I'm going to sit around here and hold it up in the air. I'm going to launch it. I'm going to come out of it. It's going to come out. I'm just going to be honest, and I'll
Hmm.
try my best to do it the quiet way as possible because it's not a thing that I feel that I'm better or I feel that it need to be addressed. We are so easy to take little stuff and let stuff keep piling up and piling up and piling up to maybe one day it'll burst out. Address the issue then. Let the issue become what
Yeah.
it is because that's when you start getting bitterness You start dealing, you start feeling, having concepts and understanding that this person is that way, and you might not even talk to them about it. And then all of a sudden, now this person is hateful and they just like this, and because you never address the
You never,
issue.
yeah, you walked around on eggshells.
You walked around with this on your heart all this time, sometimes years, 15 years, your back killing you. You stop being
Yeah,
friends. You don't even know nothing about that
yeah,
person anymore. You just because you never addressed it. That's me. I address it. I'm
yeah.
address. I'm
And I
address.
will say now that is one of the greatest lessons and strengths that I've learned from this relationship. Because I used to say all the time, "Girl, I can't believe whatever, whatever," and she'll get quiet and she'll say, and there we go. Can I ask you a question? And I would get pissed off because I was like, "Oh God, here we go." And she said, "Well, have you said anything? They're not mind readers. You really expect them to understand what's on your heart?" And I'm like, "Oh my goodness." But I will say this: by taking that advice and learning that lesson, my other relationships have grown and flourished.
Right.
So you are spot on when you say that you have to address. You can't be
Yeah,
afraid
but you
to
find out
say,
perfect opportunity. Don't go lashing out at them.
yeah,
Don't tell me what you said. That don't make me. That's not what I'm. That's not the.
nah, mm-mm.
Sometimes you got to analyze it. You got to look at the person, the type of person. I even had people, I had to think about their ages and, the way they were growing up, or if that, if I was in their air. I had to take myself many times out my own shoes and put my foot in their shoes to really understand this is that person and that's where they're at. But that just because we had that issue does not make our relationship, because I got to see that this person, I love them and I want our relationship. I'm not standing
Mm-hmm.
on what happened or what issue that was, but in the meantime, the perfect opportunity will come when everything calms down or whatever. We can present ourselves, we can talk about it, and
Yeah,
nobody will be in their feelings.
yeah.
I'll be already still in mine, but I just hold harness mine. I'm be honest. Lord, when you gonna let me release this? I need to tell you, make me feel like I have my temper tantrums. Yeah, yeah, I do. I ain't gonna lie. Right, and mental illness is real. My love y'all. It's true. It
Oh my
sure is.
goodness.
I don't even know who said that, but it said faithful user. It is real. It's
Oh
and
Lord.
I don't even mind. I like somebody right. This who user what said right here. I say, Vina, how is Roya doing? She says, Mommy, call her and find out for her yourself.
That's her. Let me say this. I used to think I used to think I used to think it was just me, and I would get I'm gonna say it. I used to get pissed off. I asked a question. She said, "You got their number? Call them. Find out for yourself." Why? What you mean?
Why? It's easier for you to get it firsthand than you got me trying to narrate what you can find out on your own. You got the number, you call them.
Oh
Make
my good.
if God put that person on your mind, call them. There's reasons. My pastor said there's signs and wonders. Sometimes there's little voices up in there to tell you,
Yeah, yeah,
even if you got to go beyond me to get it done. Don't ask me questions. They
yeah,
said, you say such and such. I said, I don't know. I mind my business.
yeah.
Did you talk to such and such? I don't know. I might even know.
I asked. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I asked the other day. I said, "How's mommy doing?" You can find out. You can. Well, dang, you were just there. You can't take a
All
temperature.
right.
But
Yeah, it
that
takes
is
so
her.
much energy. It takes a lot of energy to go ahead and tell you how she feels when she can tell you herself how she feels. Or it takes more energy to. I mind my business. I like that way because it's
Yeah,
easier for me not to take on other people's issues. It's so easy. I got my own stuff going on. I don't be bothering with all of that. That's just
and you,
who I am. God bless me. God bless me.
yes. And you know what I
I
have to say? You guys see how we laughing? One of the most important things for me in a relationship is, make sure you got somebody that you can laugh with.
Right.
Not laugh at,
Right.
but laugh with. You guys
Where?
may see us out somewhere and we are doing our thing, laughing and
Um,
enjoying life. And like I
I
said,
got.
we're gonna
I
we're
thank
gonna have
God
a
for
book
my
coming out.
BFF. I thank God for you, girl. I
And I
do. I
thank
thank
God for
God.
you.
She's, a lot of she tell you all the good stuff that I did to her, maybe mentally, and got her seeing some things. But a lot of times, this best friend has shown me there's a life outside of here. We would take a trip in a minute. She'll do, let's get this. We go to Savannah. Let's go this, and we need it. A
Yeah,
lot of people
yeah,
think that is, but we need it. Sometimes we got to get away. We'll take work with us, but
yeah,
because it's just out of the atmosphere, the
yeah,
environment that we're used to, it makes it seem like it's even so much better just to work
yeah,
there. So
yeah.
she's given me a lot of strength,
Whew.
and I
Yeah.
enjoyed talking to y'all, man. This today was a wonderful day. Y'all can join me on what's in the bag on Tik on. I'm sorry. Let me bring these out because I want y'all to see this. YouTube. I'm sorry. We got YouTube. No, TikTok. Yeah,
TikTok.
we got TikTok. What's on TikTok? If y'all don't see me doing my reels, I got some more stuff on TikTok. Go ahead on and look at me. I'm crazy. I have fun. And don't judge me. Y'all judge me. Y'all know y'all gonna judge me. YouTube, we got YouTube also. If you want to go on YouTube, you want to see a lot of our videos, get on YouTube. What's in the bag 21. You can see all the videos, all the segments, all you got. There's great information in there. And then of course, join us on What's in the Bag, our Facebook
Yes.
page. We are having some stuff. We got some more stuff coming on. Girl, you got something you need to tell everybody before we
Hey,
out
yes.
of here?
Get out here and enjoy this beautiful weather. And always stay blessed, be a blessing, and have a blessed day. Mwah.
Hey, I love y'all. Have a blessed day. Mwah.